that Tuesday, feeling like Wednesday, opened up on Sunday, and feeling like it's Monday. I'm living the best life I can. I'm living the best life I can. Living the best life I can. I'm living the best life I can. I said I'm living the best. Shit, no. Damn you, Bleach. You're like the bane of my existence. And I'm not even a Batman fan. Damn. I'm probably gonna have to get myself another haircut. But not right now. I woke up. What's up, Sosan? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Doing? Pog Booty Sunday. Sleep. Why you call it sleep? Usually when I hear Pog, I always immediately assume it's Prince Revolver. Uh, but I can't check right now, so. Welcome to another Manic episode. I've lost my mind again. I said I lost my mind again. So welcome to another Manic episode, cause I've lost my mind again. I said I lost my mind again. So you just called yourself sleep now? Yep, I read the last chapter of Demon Slayer. I'll probably talk. There's like three. I now have like two or three videos I want to do on the anime channel. I think there's one about Black Clover. There's one about Demon Slayer, and then there's one about a certain animation company. I won't get into it until later. I have been gone days. I have been gone days. I meant to post from this channel. Okay, so Prince Revolver has two channels to keep that noted. This man's called Sleep. Watch out for Sleep, man. If you see Sleeping Pogs on Sleeping, bro, some shit's going down. Things have gotten crazy. Be careful, because sleep will put you to sleep. I have been Halo trying to get to sleep. What's up? What's up, Antrite, Static, Prince Revolver, Sorosan? We out here representing it and killing it, because that's what we do. Let's see. I'm trying to make sure I didn't. Where is my camera? Okay. I think that's all the main things I need to keep up there. So I think we're Gucci. Yeah, I think we're Gucci. Okay, cool. We got about 10 viewers in here. In about a second, we'll get started. The main two things are going to be, I think, Ghost of Tsushima and Paper Mario. Those are like the two major things. I know there was like a PS5 tech demo, and then we got some Unreal Engine 5 stuff. So we got things to talk about today. We actually have like legit gaming news, which is good. And then I guess I'll check the Discord to see if anyone had any questions. If not, throw your questions in there now while we're early on. All you got to do is go to the Discord and go to questions for AME. Sorosan has already posted two actually, and ironically enough, Sorosan's questions are about Paper Mario anyway, so we're gonna get into that anyway. But if you want to ask me any more questions in advance, um, put it in the Discord. I think soon I want to do like a Discord only thing. I've just been kind of busy. Last night was not a good night for me. I'm not gonna go into too much detail. My close friends already know, but like just know, uh, last night was rough. To give a general idea what I mean when I say that, I didn't go to sleep last night until 7 o'clock this morning. So I went to sleep at 7 o'clock this morning, woke up at 2 in the afternoon, went to the gym, and then kind of like dealt with a migraine slash headache for like the last 4 hours, which is why part of the reason why this shit's so late. There's just been a lot of shit going on, and I feel like and things didn't really pan out the way I wanted it to. So this is the result of that situation. But with all that being said, I think we're about at 5 minutes now. So let's go ahead and get into it. You know what we'll do? We'll talk about the Ghost of Tsushima footage first. No point. I was sleeping on Ghost of Tsushima. It looks good now that we have gameplay. So what happened? I don't want to go too much in detail, but yeah. Let's just start off with Ghost of Tsushima. I hate the lag between fucking YouTube and like me streaming. Twitch is so much better with this shit, but I still want to have this like YouTube content. That's the reason why I maintain it on YouTube. I might put out another poll just to see. No, I wasn't sick. There was a lot of family drama. I'll just say that. It was some family drama and it kind of spilt over. But I won't go into it. Just know that's what it was. So the first thing was Ghost of Tsushima gameplay. So here's the thing. I don't know how many people felt this way about. Hope things get better. I saw your YouTube story and figured something was up. No, the YouTube story actually has nothing to do with that. What happened last night? The YouTube story was randomness. The YouTube story was me. I actually, here's a behind the scenes for the YouTube story. I was on the toilet when I recorded that. So those were two separate things. Which was funny as hell. My stomach was upset like Friday, and it kind of carried over through the night. But like, yeah, the YouTube stuff is completely different. That was just me being dumb while being on the toilet. So yeah. Anywho, getting into the Ghost of Tsushima, this has been like a weird beginning to it. Yeah, it's fine, static. So the Ghost of Tsushima gameplay and some of the things they showed off with the exploration and the combat and the outfits and the photo mode and like this very. The one thing I'll give them is that they definitely tried to carry as much a feeling of like a Japanese style movie as they could, which at least tells me that hey, they gave a shit about the source material they were making a game from. And I like that. The black and white mode is kind of a cool like cinematic mode. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. I think more so in environments than I would say character models. The character models don't look bad. It just don't. It's like it's kind of like you showed me like the Mona Lisa, and then you put like a potted, not a pot. How do I put it? You put the Mona Lisa, and then you put like a secondary piece of art next to it that was not as good, but it wasn't bad by any means. That's what the character models are like lesser than the environment, so it kind of takes me out of it. What's up, DJ? Hey, DJ, cause that's my DJ, Mega Aim. I never realized that. I think I used to call you Mega Man because that was like the default response I got from it. What's up, DJ? But yeah, so game looks beautiful. I like that they tried to tie in like simple gameplay elements to actual like for it to make sense in world. So like, oh, I need someone to know where someone goes. Check the wind. Now that's gamey as hell, but it's a nice way of being like, well, that's how you know where to go. It's because the wind is blowing in a certain direction. So it's not like a fucking dot or some sort of like trail on the ground for you to follow. Like it's like, okay, here's a mechanical way through the story or through the world to show you where to go. So it's still like control with a button press, but it's like the wind's blowing. So it creates like this atmosphere that's kind of cool. And I fuck with that. I really don't have much issues with the exploration portion of the trailer. I think a lot of that stuff was done really well. The fact that you can like be led to secrets by birds and foxes and the townsfolk, that's another like in-universe thing you can do that doesn't feel like, oh, go over here and there's a shrine. Like it feels a little bit more natural when a bird happens to be flying, you follow the bird and the bird takes you somewhere special. Like that shit I fuck with. I don't know if I was the one who got it, but I got like serious Breath of the Wild flashbacks when I was watching that. I was like, they're essentially doing what Zelda did, which is like trying to integrate the nature of the world with the gameplay so that the shit that they're doing for game reasons doesn't seem unnatural in the world. It's kind of like that. And I appreciate that because it shows a level of dedication and care that I can appreciate. It's still nothing groundbreaking. That's the irony of it all. It's not like they're changing the game with any of this, but if more developers did that, that would totally keep immersion versus like here's a white line that you can follow to go to your next destination. Here's a giant fucking arrow at the end of the road to show you where you should stop at for the plot to kick in. Like that shit, you like in the new generation with powerful, more powerful hardware. You would think we could come up with more creative ways to getting the player to do what we want them to do. So like I appreciate these subtle things. Um, what's up, Z Killer? You ain't late. You're only I think we only been streaming for like 10 minutes, so you're not late. You're still pretty early. Sucker Punch is the Sony studio that puts out the most amount of gameplay in their stuff. I feel like Naughty Dog has too many walking cinematic segments. Yeah, I can believe that too. More open world games need to copy Breath of the Wild and stop copying Ubisoft. Agreed, Anime Rapper. Also, what's up, Anime Rapper? I don't know if I said hey to you. So realistic exploration, I didn't have that much of an issue with. I think the one thing my biggest problem was probably the combat. I think the combat, not the world, not the exploration, not the shit that the combat, unfortunately for me, I remember I was watching the video and I was like, this first half seems really cool. First half, I don't really have any problems with. Then I saw that combat and when something feels off. And for a minute, I legit could not figure out what the fuck was bothering me. I just remember watching the combat section and being like, something seems off. And I could not figure it out to save my motherfucking life. And it drove me nuts. Mega Mix. That would make way more sense though. Oh, cool. See, that's why I like YouTube names. YouTube names have a lot of history behind it, and people don't really know that. But it makes for like cool stories when you do hear it out. But like the combat is what fucked with me. And it wasn't until me thinking about it and talking to other people that I realized what my issues with the combat are. My first issue with the combat is that it's slow as fuck. It is slow as all hell, bro. And it's jarring. You know what makes it more jarring is that Sekiro is not that old of a game. So when you compare Sekiro's combat to this, I get that they're going for kind of different feels, but they're very similar in terms of like locales and shit. The combat is slow as fuck. I'm not saying the game is bad from it. I'm just saying like when you're talking about my first impression, the combat looks off. And part of it is that it's slow. The other part is that the AIs are dumb as hell. It's weird. You get a bunch of fucking samurai and like nobody's pouncing on him. Even the dudes with the arrows are only shooting like one arrow at a time. Then they wait. Then they grab the arrow and they start loading it up. And then they're fucking aiming down the sights. They do this for about a minute. Like it just seems like slow ass gameplay to me. But it's not like Dark Souls though. Like it's obviously not. It's weird because they give him like tools and materials, but it's obvious that the ghost, at least in my opinion, seems more visually interesting. But even then, and they mention other stances in the video. Like the video mentions that like he has different sword stances, but we don't get to see much of it. And of course, he can parry arrow shots, which is fine. But I think my main issue is that it seems slow and it seems stiff and it seems too easy. Like I like here's the thing. I like the idea that like as the ghost, you can kind of command fear over time because your legend will like spread through. But the example they used was just the guy cowering in fear of him. So the game's gonna get even easier. Like, and what they should have done is had like there are other things you could have done to make things more interesting in that situation. Actually, I think what I would have preferred is if you had like a mode where as your legend increases, the lower grade enemies cower in fear of you. But then you get these new higher ranked enemies who want to challenge their skill against yours because they now view you as a viable threat. You're like, oh, well, the guy wasn't a problem because he wasn't going against me. And then your legend grows and he's like, okay, this guy seems pretty serious. I might have to go train. So you get like these stronger samurai who like, I have trained to face you in battle, Ghost, or I forget the dude's name, but it's like I've trained to face you in battle, and then you get these cool like fights where like in a group of like some of the mid tier enemies, you get the couple of the strong ones that are like da da da, like, and I fuck with it. Oh, we're talking about Ghost of Tsushima. Sorry. The combat looks easy to me. The combat looks yeah, and I think that's the other thing. It looks easy as hell because the AI looks dumb. The AI is doing this short, or you got the ones that coming in with the swords. Ah, here comes the other one. Ah, and, you, and we're just getting like it's. That's like a weird interpretation of battle systems. Don't ask any question. It just I haven't played Horizon Zero Dawn. I have the game, I just haven't started playing it yet. But yeah, that's like my main issue with it. It just seems yeah, that's the other thing. Stealth takedown. Like the game seems like it's gonna be borderline brain dead easy. There's no real challenge there unless the enemies get better. Also, the mission they showed off, which is just blowing up the ship, you don't even have to kill the guys to do that. The killing the guys was just them showing off the ghost's abilities, which some of the shit I like. Like I like how I wonder if this thing is even gonna have like a traditional game HUD or is it gonna be like HUDless, kind of like how Zelda was because they have cues in there to make me think it's gonna be HUDless. Like when he threw the firecrackers, you saw the sound shit reverberating off of it, and I kind of fuck with that because it's like it. Obviously, the problem is you don't know what the range is of that sound, but the point is like it creates an interesting dynamic. I find it kind of dumb that you had like two or three samurai and he multi killed like two of the three, and the third one instead of just straight out attacking him, let's do this. Oh, and he got parried and shit broke off. Yeah, it's also kind of funny. Who donated? The shit just went up. Is it gonna tell me? I saw my thing go up. Sora-san, did you donate? Wait, what did you do? Donation for the week. I like how that's what it is now, the weekly donation. Oh shit, I have doubles of the. That's what I did. I have doubles of the thing. Hold on. Is it this one? No, that's the donation goal. That's the Jew. That means one of the alert boxes needs to be taken off. But yeah, that's besides the point. I also appreciate the Japanese VA. That's kind of cool. But thank you for the donation, Zoro-san. Like you always do, you fucking madman. Um, Also, what's up, Lightning? I don't know if I said hey to you. I forgot. Um, but yeah, some of the combat just seems slow. I think that's like the worst thing in the gameplay. But like realistically, the showcase was still fine. It was like 90% gameplay, with some subtle. Red Dragon, did you just say donate? Or are you just saying the word donate? Yeah, Sorasan, I appreciate it. He always donates at this point, but I always appreciate it. And like I said, you don't have to, but if you do, I do truly value the donation. I don't want it to ever seem like the reason why I have a better capture card in my PC now is because of the donations I got last time. So thank you guys. Hey man, Sorasan's dedicated. I just appreciate it. But what was I gonna say? But yeah, like the combat was like the only thing that didn't seem overly interesting to me. That and they didn't go much into the story. Those are like my two biggest issues. They did mention they had more stuff to show us though. I thought Red Dragon had like this weird donate command that works on fucking YouTube all of a sudden. Yeah, like yeah, he has an insta kill kunai. It's fucking ridiculous. Look at that! Look at that! Look at that praise you get in the chat, Sora-san, from the fans. They appreciate you. They appreciate you donating. So it's cool. But yeah, like that's my whole thing. Like fucking the combat just doesn't look overly interesting to me, and the mission, which is to like blow up the ship, seem really basic considering like how beautiful the world is. Like the automation, I'm not gonna say automated, but it just seemed kind of generic. Like go blow up a trade ship. What do I do? Do I actually blow up the ship? The ship like when you say I'm gonna blow up a ship and a ship that looks relatively big, my first thought is I'm setting off like multiple bombs or I'm creating cocktails to like throw in the ship to fuck it up. No, in the mission they showed off, I'm climbing on the top of the ship and killing one guy on the ship just to set off this exploding cart that just happens to be there. That's what bothers me. They're like you got this cool open ass world and all this attention to detail that, but when it comes to the mission of blowing up a ship, I'm just gonna climb across the fucking top of the ship kill the one guy who's guarding the damn bomb cart and then light the bomb cart on fire. And I'm just like, that's kind of boring. Now, I guess because considering this seems like a side, wow, Sorsan, don't ever say that again, bro. That's reckless. That's a lifestyle you don't want to be a part of. Because I'm not making an OnlyFans, goddamn it. But that's like my main thing. Like, and I guess because it's a side mission, it doesn't look that cool to detail. But it's jarring to have a game that has all this attention to detail, but the mission, which is to blow up the ship, is literally I'm gonna run across the top of the ship and then set a cart on fire, and I've won the side mission. Like that just seems kind of basic to me. Yeah, because ironically they made the mission longer. The mission is actually longer because they went and killed the other guys. They didn't even have to do that. He literally could have avoided all the guys and then just jumped on the ship. That's the problem. You can't. That's the problem when you can't have stealth in a game where like there's like when you have missions like that where I'm blowing up a ship of some sort and like all I need to do is sneak across the top of the ship. This guy like you got to have some guys posted at the top or like the archers who can see you in midair. Like obviously there's gonna be a hole in their defenses, but like it should be harder, especially if you're copying like a pseudo Arkham style feel of combat. It's like when I'm doing the fucking like stealth sections in Batman, that's a whole different experience. One of the coolest things I thought that was in like City was that like enemies would get smart enough to start shooting the gargoyles that you were so accustomed to jumping on. Certain stages didn't have it, so you actually had to like stealthily wander on the bottom floor of the level with everybody else to get around and still take people out and shit. That shit's cool as fuck to me. To still have like balconies I can hang off of, but they can destroy balconies. So like, oh, there's a guy with an arrow standing by the cart. Yeah, but he's facing in the wrong fucking direction. So all I gotta do is jump behind him. Hell, I could have lit the cart on fire and ignored him completely. They don't seem to even have like notifications to like when they get alerted. Like I wish there was like some sort of a sound meter, kind of like what Zelda has, where like you could see how much sound you're making, and like then you could figure out what like triggers an enemy, how much sound will trigger an enemy, and you could plan like these little raids out based on that. Ah, that's like my whole thing. Well, yeah, and like I said, it is a side mission, so yeah. So you wish you Cloud Zoro Mihawk cutting a ship. I mean, listen, if I could cut a ship in half, that'd be kind of badass. You can't tell me if you were given a game where you could cut a ship in half, that isn't kind of bad. That isn't badass. That's pretty fucking badass. All right, that's a lifestyle choice that I can choose to indulge in. Although being where I'm from, there's no reason why I would do that. But the fact that I can is just a cool idea. But like I said, it's not overall the gameplay. Like the demonstration was fine, like overall. But I'm just saying the combat is the most concerning thing. But we don't talk about Arkham Knight because I, for one, I haven't played it yet, and B, because fuck that Batmobile. Bro, I've watched gameplay of it, and I'm just like, dude, I don't want to play this fucking game. I don't like tank sections, and I definitely don't like it when they're forced on me multiple fucking times. But yeah, like the gameplay reveal was fine for the most part. I just thought that shit looks spooky, as some other YouTubers would say. That combat looks spooky, and I don't know how I feel about that side mission structure. Because here's the thing: saying that side missions are never good is not an excuse to continue to make them not good. The goal is to improve with each game you make. So you shouldn't be still giving me side missions that look that unappealing. Because usually, especially for your first real showing of the gameplay, it should have been some shit like, if the side missions look this cool, what does the fucking main game story looks like? And that's the kind of shit I fuck with. Also, thank you, Jamon Smith. I'm glad you liked it. Uh, that game was such a letdown. Damn. Now we've turned into Lightning has started a Batman Arkham Knight disappointment string of discussion, which may or may not be a good thing. Oh, that's insane. Every 15 minutes, I'd be ready to kill somebody. Now, Arkham City is still my favorite game, but that's besides the point. Now we've turned this into a Batman conversation. Although there's been a bunch of rumors that supposedly we're going to be getting a Batman game announcement soon-ish. I don't know how true this is. I've heard there was like a leak recently talking about how Nightwing would be playable and it's still under the Arkham brand, and like, and I guess part of me is kind of bummed by that. I guess I'll casually mention it anyway, since I don't remember the whole leak and it's still like rumors supposedly. The only two things I remember is that it's still under the Arkham brand and you'll be playing as like Batman and also Nightwing. I guess my main thing is that if you're gonna do some shit like that, considering the way Arkham Knight ends, because I already know the story of Arkham Knight, uh, I would have preferred you just move forward. Like if you like it, I'm not happy that Arkham Knight is the last Batman game, but considering the fuckery that happened with that game and the over reliance on the Joker, again, I would have preferred for them to just be like, hey, you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna just go into the Nightwing era and try something different. Because you have a bunch of villains you haven't fucking used. Maybe introduce a couple of the other Robins, like Red Robin. What was that? No. Tim Drake or Damian or Jason. Well, actually, no, Jason's already in the main game. So I would like, you already got Jason. I would do, well, no, Tim Drake's in there too. Yeah, all of them are in there. You already have them in the main. You already had them in Arkham Knight. I would just start using them more. Uh, Preferably Tim Drake, although I hate his fucking design in Arkham Knight. In Arkham Knight, they gave him the shaved head, and he's like overly muscular, and I'm like, what the fuck did you do to Tim? That is not Tim visually, and he's not in a lot of the fuck. He's not in. He only has a chunk in the game, so it's a whole nother issue. Yeah, I wish it wasn't fucking another goddamn. Well, I say Jason Todd, or I could have called him the Arkham Knight because they've stuck to that name. I don't even know. I don't even know if Jason Todd in the Arkham universe is the Red Hood. Does the Red Hood even exist, or is the Red Hood now the Arkham Knight? Like, has that been replaced? I don't know. But yeah, I would totally be cool with them doing like a Nightwing focused game and having him have a slightly different battle style. Well, I mean, there was that arc in the comics where he does do that, so that is a thing. Or is that him or is that Tim? I forget which. Actually, I wouldn't mind it being Tim, considering I think most people, I think in the comics it is Damien is fine depending on who writes him. Damien can be fine. It also depends on what version of Damien we get. That's a whole other thing. I like how we went through this weird smooth transition from a fucking Ghost of Tsushima conversation to a Batman conversation. The weird thing is that Arkham Knight, Tim Drake, and end up together. That seems weird. Well, Barbara only really fucked with Dick, when I remember right, and even though he wasn't really her main squeeze anyway, like Dick's main squeeze is Starfire. The Red Hood takes place after the ending of Arkham Knight. Okay, cool. Um, yeah, I think if you're gonna do another Batman game, I would just have Nightwing be the main character and then use the other Robins in whatever way is needed. The comic was called Battle Cowl. Okay. Yeah, most people like Tim the most. So like, I would either use. I think the two you. I feel like Nightwing needs it because Nightwing doesn't get used a lot. Didn't get used a lot in the main series, but I would prefer to be Nightwing and Tim primarily. But if you wanted to use the other Robins, that'd be cool too, because then you would get different battle styles. Depends on the story. It'd be like, oh, like Bruce is out because he's been exposed, so he can't really do anything for a while. So this could take place during the time of like right after Arkham Knight, where like, but the villains are still out around and shit. That's kind of one of the reasons why I wish the end of Arkham Knight was like Tim or what was out of context? I didn't even catch it, Orion Sword. I'll be real with you. But this could take place like right after the end of Arkham Knight. That's why I don't like the fact that Arkham Knight does that whole, well, Batman's still going to be Batman because he's just going to use the fear toxin to invoke fear. And I'm like, bro, you know what you could do? You could just take a break. I kind of wish they'd introduce some of that Catwoman shit in the comics, from the comics into the game, where like she's like, you ever thought about like kind of settling down, like some of that shit, because then it would have made for a good exit game. Well, no, I'm pretty sure Batman's alive. I don't even think that's an argument at this point. Most people say their favorite Robins usually lean between Tim and Dick, but Tim, I think, is objectively more competent. That's the main difference. But I think the two favorites is Tim and Dick. People like Jason, but they don't like him as a hero. They like him as an anti. They like him at most as an anti-hero, but I think most people prefer him as a villain, actually. But yeah, now we've gone on like this weird Batman tangent, and we can't hang here the whole time, guys. All right, we'll give this like another minute of talk. I know we're gonna get in trouble. All right, we do have a Paper Mario game to discuss. God damn it. But yeah, like I don't know, man. I kind of like, realistically of the Arkham games in terms of story, the only I don't mind Origins focusing on the Joker. I thought that was a cool. I think the Joker sections are probably the more interesting part of Origins. The problem is that's not all of Origins, and that's why Origins struggles a lot. Uh, uh, Arkham Asylum is fine for what it is. Arkham City is fucking god tier. I think it had a lot of cool shit in it. I think you could have added more Catwoman sections, but that's my only issue with it. They were developing a Superman game, but it fell through. Yeah, I heard about that. SK Wing this question because he would be like Terry and Jason interact with one another. What would be like Terry and Jason? Uh That's weird because Jason. I From what I see, Terry, I have like I don't remember his personality as much as I remember Jason's. So because I haven't seen as much of Beyond as I should have. Terry, from what I remember, they're kind of similar. Although I think arguably that Jason is more extreme than Terry is. Uh, I just didn't think it was going to turn into a whole thing. Lightning. That was the whole point. Um, I would think Terry would be more like Terry would be kind of like thrown off. Not thrown off. How would I put it? And more like, damn, is this how I act? Like it'd be kind of like, oh, like I feel like Jason would give him like perspective. Paper Mario and the Origami King has a lot of hidden details. I haven't seen all the hidden details because I think Game Explain started doing some of that, and I watched some of it, but I didn't watch all of it. But yeah, Paper Mario does have a lot of stuff, and we can start talking about that soon. The last thing I'll say about this, as far as Batman's concerned, I really wish they would have just focused. I wish they would focus just on like the Robins and their stories. I would have fucked with like Batwoman. Well, see, she's already Oracle in this timeline. Also, damn, dude, why are you donating twice? You get donations just for talking about games and anime only fans. People are jealous. You just want to be a sugar daddy. That's what it is, Sora Sign. You can't be fucking trusted. That's literally what it is. Damn. That fucked me up. Woo, that fucked me up, bro. What's up, Julian? Yeah, the problem is like Jason's kind of handled poorly. I think if you made a new Batman game, I would only want like maybe two of the Robins playable, which for me would be Dick and Tim. Whereas you could feature like Jason or Damian, but I think the two Robins that should be focused on in the sequel should be like Dick and Tim, kind of showing their differences and their strengths and weaknesses. We could get maybe some Teen Titans references, a Starfire cameo, maybe just something interesting. But yeah, let's go ahead and kind of shift to the. Oh, that's right, Barbara isn't Batwoman. I forgot about that. I'm sorry. I forget about that because of how that shit's handled. Well, if that's the case, that means you could do Batwoman then. That means you could do Batwoman. Well, technically, I think Barbara's supposed to be Batgirl anyway. But yeah, that means you could do Batwoman in the games if you wanted to. So that's not out of the argument. But because of how the game makes it seem like she's supposed to be Batwoman. That's the problem. Let the bat family be free roam them. Let them have their own boss fights and have to deal with. Exactly. You could start kind of expanding the universe out. It's not like I don't mind playing as Batman, but like it's hard to miss him when he's in every game. Like I like playing as Batman, but like at the same time, like he's in every fucking game, so you don't miss him. But let's move over. God damn it! We're already like 30 something minutes in, and it's all been like a mixture of Ghost of Tsushima and Batman talk. So last points: Ghost of Tsushima is cool, but that combat looks a little spooky, and the side missions look kind of weak. And Batman game would be welcome, but I would hope they would focus more on Nightwing and the Bat family more so than another fucking Bruce Wayne story. Personally. Sorry, Static. All right, so let's talk about the paper. Okay, so here's the thing. The coolest part about the Paper Mario news is that it confirms that Nintendo is just sitting on games because of shipping issues, because of you know what this year. Okay, all right, cool. Well, it depends on what version of Batwoman they chose. that's the thing about Batwoman. Now she looks as good as like Catwoman and Ivy, and is the way she's supposed to. As long as she ain't woke, that's the main thing with Batwoman. So yeah, Paper Mario. So I want to say that was that Tuesday? What date was that? Was that Tuesday when it was announced, or was that like Thursday? I don't remember. That was May 14th, so it had to be Thursday. So this Thursday, last Thursday, they posted out of nowhere, no context, no setup. Hey, look, new Paper Mario game comes out in about 2 months. And you're like, what the fuck? It actually comes out the same day as Ghost of Tsushima, which was also when they had the Ghost of Tsushima thing, which is why it's funny to me. Which is crazy to me. I don't even know if Nintendo intended that to happen. Part of me thinks that the shit was too well timed. Like, you put out a trailer for a new Paper Mario. The date is the same as the guys who are having a fucking stream later today, that day, for that game. It seemed like Nintendo was like, let me undercut the fuck out of them. Especially because, like, Nintendo's chilling for, like, the next month or so. Like, at the end of this month, we'll get a bunch of ports of games. I think we got, what, the Bioshock collection, the Borderlands collection, XCOM, fucking Shantae, and then goddamn Xenoblade, which is on May 29th. So that means for the rest of the fucking, so that means that'll carry through the end of May, through all of June, because there's a bunch of fucking titles. And then in July, here's Paper Mario, which is a game people have been looking forward to. So Paper Mario, let's just start off with the basics. Just like Ghost of Tsushima, looks fucking gorgeous. Most people are still concerned about the battle system because you haven't seen a lot of it. Well, Color Splash, I think, still sold decently, guys. Like, if I look up Color Splash real quick, I want to say Color Splash still sold relatively well. Let's see. Paper Mario. Let's see. They don't have sales numbers for it. Of course they don't. Damn. I don't know then. They don't have sales numbers for it, which is kind of lame. But it does seem like it's like the lowest of the Paper Mario games. So we're gonna assume it didn't do that well. And then of course, yeah, we have Trials 3. That's the other thing I forgot about games. So here's the thing about Paper Mario. I never played the Paper Mario games. Like, I never played any of the Paper Mario series, actually. The one I only demoed was like Super Paper Mario on the Wii, which is more of a platformer than an RPG. Visually, the game looks gorgeous. I like the way a lot of the mini games look. It looks more open world and kind of like a legit adventure than like Color Splash did, where Color Splash was still in that whole World 1-1 kind of nonsense, which for an RPG is not what you do. Also, they've changed the battle system again, which may or may not be interesting. See, I feel like early game, the ring shit's not going to matter that much. But I'm curious what that means for like bosses. Like, is there a way because I feel like as the game progresses, you're gonna have to start picking between which bosses you can and cannot attack. The ring thing has a bunch of potential in it. We just need to see more of it, which I imagine over the course of the next few weeks we probably will, because you threw out one trailer, and I highly imagine that we'll probably get like another like more in-depth trailer within the next, especially after Xenoblade launches. If you notice, they've been pushing Xenoblade like a motherfucker, so they'll probably give at least until mid-June before they start pushing Mario again. Although people do think that we're going to be getting ports soon of, I think, Pikmin 3 and then like 3D World. So a lot of people are thinking that it's going to fit in that line of thought process. You hope this level of storytelling is the level of Thousand Year Door. Now, from what I guess it's not the same thing as writing. I've heard like stories that most writing for the Paper Mario games is really good. Like most people talk really highly of the writing for the Paper Mario titles, and I'm like, because even Color Splash they said had good writing for it. So um, I imagine it'll at least be funny and entertaining. I don't know if they've been slowly turning it into a platform, but it definitely includes platforming elements. And even in the trailer for this game, they showed some platforming. Well, not platforming, but you're jumping over fire and shit. Although I would say it has more variety. The combat looks interesting. There are hidden details, like some people are saying. When you fight boos, you need to have them facing you to do damage, kind of like the main series. See, and that's my thing. Like the problem I think with Color Splash was that Color Splash's mechanic wasn't really RPG focused, and there was no reason to fight them. Like there was no reason you had to fight enemies. Enemies didn't do anything. And I think Color Splash was trying to be different, but the battle system didn't really complement it. But I'm hoping it seems like Intelligent System has come up with a battle system that's different and still like entertaining and engaging. It makes you want to do it. Well, it's funny, you played the one that people hate. The Paper Mario that you played, Melvin, is the one everyone talks about sucks. Nobody I've heard talks about liking Sticker Star. Or they just don't view it as a Paper Mario game. I do truly believe though the reason why we don't get like more unique characters in the Paper Mario games anymore is primarily due to Nintendo on some weird ass like we need to keep the Mario enemies normal, and that's what kind of bothers me. You might have to be able to attack them without having to face them. Though that could be easy the situation too, where like if you attack them from behind, you phase through them because they're ghosts. Or maybe like there are certain enemies that can only be beaten certain ways. A lot of people like the problem is like with the battle system, we there's still a lot we don't know and hasn't been confirmed. Like the trailer looks cool. I even like the creepy vibe it has in early on where it's like where Origami Peach comes out and she's like it's almost like she's asking Mario to join the cult of the origami. Like, will you come and become three-dimensional with me? Like something along those lines. And he's like, fuck no. Although I hope it looks like they're doing the same shit Pokemon does, where they're giving you a dialogue choice and it doesn't fucking matter. The only cool thing in this situation though is that it seems like at least for Mario, they make a reference like the first yes or no question. No matter what he says, her response was probably going to be the whole yes, no. In the end, your statements are thin, or like paper thin, like pretty much saying that you're lying either way, so it doesn't matter. Like I'm still gonna drop you down here and turn you into an origami piece, regardless if you say yes or no. So I just hope they don't maintain that shit. Don't give me a dialogue box and then it don't matter. The first one's cool because it's kind of like misdirection, but still, I almost think that's Miyamoto personally. I think that's Miyamoto that's very much in this idea that we can't have these like unique OC looking um characters. And that kind of pisses me off. And same game for do you think Mario fans have reached the Smash Brothers fan that won't even entertain the thought of playing a new game in the franchise that is not like the version that's 20 years old? I won't say that because with Smash, it's obvious that other fans will play it. It's obvious that people gave it a chance. Actually, Ultimate has the most melee players giving it a legit shot. And granted, they did that with 4 too, but they just didn't stick with 4. And I don't know how they're feeling about Smash Ultimate as of currently, but I know there's still some aggression, but I don't think it's that bad. Paper Mario is a different story because people will try new Paper Marios. It's just that as they get disappointed through game after game, they get more and more like unexcited for new announcements. Yeah, the paper thing reminds me. Yeah. Yeah, I feel like that's the problem. I feel like, and it's weird because like Odyssey, that's one of the reasons why I like Odyssey. I feel like Odyssey was like, yo, let's get a little weird with it. And Odyssey was allowed to get weird with it, and I'm cool with that. And Odyssey actually tackled some shit I didn't think they would go into. And I'm like, that's the kind of story I want. It doesn't have to be intrusive. Just give me more. I like to see the characterization. People still geek out about that sequence because like the way Peach because of how the way Peach handled that situation, the fact that Mario was consoling Bowser after they were both rejected. Like I fuck with like a lot of people fuck with that sequence just because it comes out of left field because we're not used to seeing that in a Mario game. Hell, the reason why people like Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi is for the characterization. Luigi's characterization partially comes from games that like Nintendo themselves didn't like have 100% hand in. Like Luigi being a scaredy cat and having kind of these moments. I fuck with heavy, bro. I fuck with it so heavy. And the next level games for Luigi's Mansion 3 like went like full next level with it. And I no joke intended, but you get it. I'm just it's just a fan favorite. The Paper Mario games started to change around the time when, yeah. But see, I don't know if those two things are connected since they're made by two different studios. It could literally, I still think it's literally like Miyamoto not liking the idea of having Mario and Luigi, like the Mario series, be too experimental. But it's weird because you don't even use the characters you do have. So, like, if you don't want me to be experimental, use the characters we got. No, fuck you. Why can't we use the characters we got? God damn it. It annoys me that we have characters like Wario, Waluigi, Daisy, and shit. We got like a bunch of characters, or Toadette and whatever, who aren't used in main games that often. Daisy just now gets a spot in Smash. She's not in any of the 3D Mario games. Waluigi and Wario are in the same fucking boat, and they're considered like the evil counterparts. That's what bugs the shit out of me. Like, you can't be against like new original characters, but then at the same time, not even use the ones you currently have. Like fuck the original characters, just use the other ones. Now, granted, that's a yes, you do need to finish Luigi's Mansion 3. It's a good game. Now, granted, that's a theory that it's Miyamoto. That's just my theory that Miyamoto's very much against that shit, but it may not be the truth. Yeah, they actually made Mario characters and the actual characters for a change, and see, I fuck with that. That's the part I like. They don't want characters to change, I guess. But like, see, I get it. It's like on some Mickey Mouse shit. Like that's the whole point. But even Disney's way more liberal with theirs. Like Disney does a lot with Mickey, Donald, and Goofy, Minnie, Daisy. They're kind of rotated in different ways. Hell, Goofy went through a hell of a change from being kind of like he went from like a normal character to then like these infomercial kind of character, and then now he's like a single father trying to always connect with his son. Like there's like cool shit you can do, but like you got to give yourself the intellectual freedom to do so. So it jars the fuck out of me that Mario of all things, and maybe that's loosened up. To be fair, I want to be fair to him because the fact that Mario Odyssey got out the door and no one said anything tells me at least they're not like completely against it. I just hope they do more with it. Like the reason why the Sonic characters are so beloved, regardless of the game quality, is because like there's always this cool lore and shit. And like you can kind of like and like Sega plays into it with story and tries to use them consistently. Bugs Bunny's another good example. No, because Bugs Bunny's different. Bugs Bunny also has a lot of versatility in character. I'm not talking about lore. You ain't got to do all this extra lore shit, but like give them more character. Lore is cool, but like give them more characters. That's why I said the Sonic casts are kind of like that. Fucking Mario is like very much of the idea that like if it's the main game, the most you get to see is Mario, Luigi, and Peach and Bowser. That's usually it. Those are like the main ones you see in the mainline Mario games. 3D World was the first game to even have Rosalina and Peach. That was the first time Peach was playable since, if I don't count Super Princess Peach, when was the last time Peach was playable in a fucking Mario game? She hasn't been playable in a Mario game since 2. And it was like, the fuck, why not? You gave her this cool gameplay mechanic and you never use her. And that irks the shit out of me, bro. And it just aggravates me, bro. Minimal seems to be stuck in the past regarding video game characters, stories, and overall game design, like stuck in the 1980s. Damn it. I mean, we'll see how innovative they get with Mario movie eventually coming. That's what the other thing I was concerned about. That's why I was concerned when I heard that like fucking Miyamoto is helping with that. And I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that, bro, because based off of my theories, it makes me think that like he's still gonna kind of devolve into the same shit where like Mario can't do this, Mario can't do that. No, we can't include that character. No, we can't include that character. And we're like, bro, you gotta give some looseness, which is Sonic fans hate for some reason. Well, to be fair, I mean there are Sonic characters I can't stand, but most of them I'm fine with. I think the only Sonic characters I actually don't care about at all. Big is a meme. I like the story of him and Froggy, but like he is a meme character at this point. Um, I can't stand Marin. Marin can go eat a dick. I hate when Marin was introduced in Rush Adventure because it really should have been. I hate that the grouping should have been what it is in Generations, which is Blaze, Cream, and Silver. And like Silver's like the little brother, Blaze and then Cream is like the little sister, and Blaze is like the cool girl who actually has like a cute side that like Silver and Cream can bring out of her. I really like. If you don't know, I'm pretty high of a Blaze stan. So yeah, me Metal was like back in the day we didn't have to have stories. It was about gameplay, which is true. But I'm not even asking for like high level stories. I'm just asking for more characterization. I don't even care if it's still like going. Like, here's the thing: traveling 8 worlds and fighting Bowser at the end isn't the worst thing in the world. But like, give me some character with it. Like that shouldn't be a problem. If the story is still me going to 8 worlds and saving the princess, that's fine. But give me some character. Show some more sequences of like Peach interacting with Bowser, or maybe Peach being like, "I gotta get the fuck out of here because this guy's a loser." Like I like some of the side jokes where it's like, yeah, Bowser's kind of a dork, but like she respects him as a father because she takes care of the son. Like maybe there's like a sequence in which like she tries to sneak out and she tries to like bring Bowser Jr. with her, not realizing that like he's actually a good father. Like that's like a cool thing you can do that doesn't take away from the game. It's just a cutscene that exists. And it's like subtle shit. It would make some of these games stick out more. Odyssey will always stick out for that reason alone. Like how 3D World will stick out because you have a playable Daisy and Rosalina. By the way, the only time Daisy and Rosalina, I mean, no, not Daisy, Peach and Rosalina, I'm sorry. Yeah, because fucking Mario Odyssey did way more than you expected it to. That's probably the reason why you enjoyed it. I would actually tell them to take notes from Disney because Disney has just as much of beloved characters as Nintendo does. Try to give them some more character. Remember to drink your water, kids. But yeah, like long story short, the game looks cool, looks fucking gorgeous. We just need to see more of it. People like the Galaxy games because they had a bit of story compared to the other Mario's. Yeah, like there's like story doesn't take away from a Mario experience. If anything, it can add to it. And people actually like Rosalina's backstory and shit. From what I remember, people talking about. People really like Rosalina's backstory, so I don't see the problem with having more like characterization. Like that's my main thing. There's a difference between story and characterization. I would prefer more characterization for the Mario cast. Yeah, Super Princess Peach was the last game she was playable in. The last mainline kind of game. But let me check the questions because we're almost like an hour in and I haven't really touched anything. So let's look. Yeah, I knew I was gonna miss some question. Let's see. From the real Condoriano. Now that Nintendo is on their shit and Microsoft is trying to make a comeback with the will the PS5 no, with the PS5, I think is what you meant. You wrote will, but I think you meant with the PS5. Oh no, you did. Okay, you wrote it in a weird way. Will the PS5 sell 100 million? Also, what single player Switch games do you have the most amount of time in? I have 99 hours in Xenoblade 2 and 112 hours in Breath of the Wild. Okay, so to kind of tackle the first question, I've been saying this before. The PS5 has has less chance to do as well as the PS4 did, only because it won't have that hard hitting start that the PS4 did. The PS4 hit hard from jump, but like I said, the main reason why I was able to do that was because fucking Nintendo and Xbox both fucked up their marketing push for both of their consoles. Nintendo could not explain the Wii U in a way that made sense to people, and Xbox couldn't explain the Xbox One without pissing off a bunch of people. Uh, a lot of what allowed Sony to do as well as they did was primarily due to the fact that Sony did the bare minimum and didn't step on nobody's toes. Meaning, they said it plays games, it's more powerful, and it runs, and and we have no ridiculous extra features. And then they looked over at Nintendo and went, nah, fuck that, that's too complicated. They looked over at Xbox and went, nah, that shit's too weak and has a bunch of TV push for it. We'll just go with the PS4. It's not going to be as easy. So I'm not saying they can't do it. I'm just saying there's a high chance it won't be nowhere near as easy as it was before. Also, if you're talking about what single player games I have the most amount of time in, I can check the Switch real quick. I know the highest is still Xenoblade Chronicles 2 at like, what is that? Xenoblade Chronicles 2 is like 495. So 495 hours. I have 175 hours in Pokemon Sword. I have 135 hours in Dragon Quest 11. I have, what was the other one that was over 100? I have 140 hours in Fire Emblem Three Houses. I have 120 hours in Smash Brothers Ultimate. I think those are all the main ones. Yeah, I think those are all the main ones. Those are all like my over 100 hours. So Pokemon Sword, Dragon Quest 11, uh, fucking Fire Emblem, Smash Brothers, and Xenoblade 2. So yeah, that's that. So those are all my high level fucking uh, hours in games. What was that? The last part of that question? Yeah, that was the okay. So that's the whole question. Cool. What was Soros? Sorosan was like Sorosan asks, because of the reveal of Paper Mario, people are bringing up the leak about 3D Mario remasters that include a news of a new Paper Mario. Do you think that's more legitimacy to that? Yeah, probably. Like, and if they do like a legit collection of like the main like 3D Mario games, so 64, Sunshine, Galaxy games, as a collection, I think people would be way more down to buy that shit, and it wouldn't surprise me. 3D World Port, I think, was already on the list anyway, so that one didn't surprise anybody. If that one happens, that won't surprise anyone. It's more interesting if they do like a collection of the 3D titles. That'd be kind of cool. What are your thoughts on GTA 5 being free on the on the Epic Game Store, and about the whole $100,000 in in-game cash that's being delayed for GTA Online? People overhype Rockstar a lot. That's the main thing about that part. And then as far as it being free, well, the game's been selling since 20 fucking 13, and I think it's like one of the highest selling games of all time. At this point, the bitches needs to be free by default. They've made so much money off it at this point. The fuck is even the point? Damn. Kill it with fire at this point. Jesus Christ. So that's my answer to those two questions. Then lightnings. What are your thoughts on Game Explain and other big YouTube channels getting new games so early and review games before the actual release date? It's so much of the norm nowadays. It makes sense. I mean, it's kind of like how the movies have early screenings. Like it's not like a foreign concept. Early screenings of movies exist, and people get their reviews out early for that. My issue is more so some of the nonsense embargo shit that happens during that time where like now not as far as showing footage, but in terms of like what parts of the game are available to those reviewers. Because even when the reviewer gets the early copy of the game, they still gotta abide by like a bunch of fucking rules before they can even like really get into the game, which I think is kind of dumb. So that's my issue with that. Don't you get annoyed that the fact that the Final Fantasy VII remake is considered a new game in 2020 when it's based off an original game on the PS1? And what are your thoughts on the re-releases in general to improve graphics and gameplay? I don't mind re-releases, as long as it. I don't mind them as long as they're priced appropriately. When you price like a remake at $60 and you haven't done anything to it, that's way more offensive than like doing a bunch of changes and then charging $60. Like it needs to be, you still need to justify the amount, or don't do anything to it and charge 20. Then we're just as fine in that situation. What was the other part of that question? And do I get annoyed at Final Fantasy VII? I don't get that part. Doesn't annoy me. That's viewed as a new game. I guess my part is more so that the praise it gets, I don't think the game deserves it. At least not nowhere near to the amount of praise that it gets currently. That's a personal opinion, and at this point, I recognize that apparently I'm in the minority with that. So I've kind of washed my hands of that part. And then the third part is, what are your thoughts on the new Fairy Tale game being a JRPG similar to Persona 5 HUD interface? I haven't seen it. But I don't care about it being an RPG. Hell, I don't care if you did a One Piece RPG. Just like make sure the shit's fun and enjoyable. I think I've seen. I think I saw like early gameplay footage of it. It's fine, but I don't really care about Fairy Tale anyway, so it doesn't mean as much to me personally. But that's just because of it being Fairy Tale. Let's see. Since we're talking about Paper Mario, what do you think about people already putting down for not being like the first two games in the series? It's jaded fans, but it's partially due to Nintendo creating that standard in the first place. If Nintendo wasn't so like overly concerned about changing Paper Mario's formula so drastically every game, I think people would be way more excited for it. I understand the jadedness, but you also need the game to have. You need to at least see the battle system in full before you automatically write it off. That's my whole thing. So I understand it. I know we had a One Piece RPG. It was the fucking. If we're talking about, there was one on the DS, I think, the DS or the 3DS, and then we also had like the Unlimited World series, which is like pseudo RPG. But the problem is that the fucking Unlimited World series, although fun-ish, was kind of fucking tedious and boring. Um, but yeah, I can understand the jadedness, but I feel like you still Sky P is better than what people give it credit for. Um, I can understand the jadedness towards new Paper Mario games, but you still gotta give it a chance and see the battle system in full. Like, don't just automatically throw it in under the bus. Like, you still gotta give it the benefit of the doubt. It'd be different if you saw the battle system in full and went, "This is shit." But that's not what happened. You didn't see the battle system in full, so like at least let them show off it more. You're doing this off of the announcement trailer. Like, give them at least a couple of trailers to prove themselves. Because every game can have a bad first trailer. Although I don't think the Origami Kings trailer was bad by any means. I'm just saying. For context. I've been seeing a lot of people liking Soccer Wars UI. Do you think Soccer Wars UI looks better than the PS5's? No, than Persona 5's UI. Well, let's go look up Soccer Wars UI real quick before I make that statement. Soccer Wars is for UI. I don't know why I typed in UI when I don't fucking. I didn't need to do that. Jesus Christ. I should have just typed in gameplay like a normal person. Nah, that would have made more sense. Let me mute this. I wouldn't say it's better. I mean, it looks cool, but like, it's a cool UI, but it's nothing crazy. I think Persona 5 will always be more stylish in the grand scheme of things. But it's not bad. That's the point I'm making here. But yeah, I think Persona 5 looks better. So yeah. Are there any games that I consider bad that I enjoy? When you say bad, that means like genuinely bad games. What was the last game I thought was bad? I haven't played a bad game in a long fucking time. That's what I'm trying to think. Star Wars, well, I say that, yeah, it is like Fire Emblem, but this one's way more battling focused. So it's actually probably more like a fucking. It still has tactics in it, but from what I understand, this new one is more like combo heavy, I guess. But are there any bad games that I've played that I still have fun with? Bad games. Mm, not really, because most games I still enjoy stuff from. I wouldn't consider bad games, so I can't really say much there. So at least I can't say it. And the last one will be for Orion Sword because I have to go to work tomorrow, so I can't really dick around on here as much as I want to. So the last question will be Orion Swords. So with Paper Mario New coming out of complete nowhere, you think there's a possibility of getting more for different games this month or June? Yes. The short answer is yes. The long answer is hell yes. I think Nintendo is very much stuck to the idea for this gen that we're gonna just show off games that are done. I bet you that game's already on gold or is about to. Like I have a very high suspicion that Paper Mario has probably been done for like a month or is about to be done very soon. Like, and I mean like soon within like the next week or so. So I think that's the way they're handling it. I imagine we'll probably get even more announcements moving forward. So really, we're at the point of wait and see right now, but I highly suspect where there's more to come, and that more will come very fucking soon. So yeah, um, yeah. Now let me check the chat before I get out of here. But let's look. Soccer Wars is like a visual novel, but it's also mixed with tactics. It does look like Infinite Stratos a lot. I get a lot of Infinite Stratos vibes from it. Um, it's not fair to complain. Yeah. What? I can fuck with the UI for Persona 5, so I'm not gonna disagree with that. I heard that the stuff outside of 5 is really weak compared to the story and character interactions. What is STPG? STPG. What the hell is STPG? That's the only thing I don't know. What's STPG? Wandering Soul. The rumor is that more stuff is coming from Nintendo. There's a Pikmin 3 port. Yeah, but I think people would be mad if we got a Pikmin 3 port. Because I think people just want a new Pikmin game. But yeah, what's STPG? That's the only thing I don't know. I'd be curious what Star Fox is if they plan to do anything with Star Fox. I would take a bet. Star Fox will probably either be this year or next year. That's a bet though. That's not a bet that I should take. That's a bet I'm going to take because it has been about 4 years since Zero, and Zero didn't take that long to develop. Zero was like a year and a half or some shit. It wasn't even that long. That's probably the reason why the game looks the way it does. Um, but yeah, what's STPG? I wanted to see that before I ended the stream, but I might have to get out of here because, like I said, I need to take a shower and then I got to do some stuff and then I'm going to bed. So, oh, you've heard this. Oh, and Soccer Wars. Oh, the strategy stuff. I guess is what you meant. The strategy stuff. Okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, I heard people really do want Tales of Arise info too because we've heard nothing of that for like a year. Um. Okay, I got you. I got you, Wandering Soul. Okay, I see. I still want to play this new Soccer Wars, but I want to get through. I'm almost done with Dragon Quest, and then I'm gonna try to do Astral Chain next. So It's a slow burn, but we'll get there, goddammit. But with all that being said, I want to thank you guys for the love and the support. I want to thank Sora-san for the donations. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. I now like consistently get around like 20 or so views when I do these. So catch me next week for another one of these, and catch me on Saturdays doing Final Fantasy VII OG streams, because yesterday's was a fucking doozy. There's a clip I'm probably going to try to upload within the week. But yeah, it's a lot of cool stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for the support. Thank you guys for the donations. Thank you guys for the love. Thank you guys for just everything. More stuff coming. I got a couple of rants I got for the anime channel coming, and I have a couple more like societal discussions. All these still need to be recorded, but I have the ideas at least. So expect more stuff on all sides soonish. I just got to go through some work and hopefully get some of these out as time goes by. But anyways, that's a game. Play to win, and I will catch you guys later. Peace out. Oh, Jesus. I broke my arm. I was swinging too hard. I told everyone to catch these hands outside. They said, fuck you. I'm going to catch these hands inside.